Time to crack open the sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
Is so good. And now another Bills player is down. Damar Hamlin is the one who was in on that stop on T. Higgins. And then he got up and just went right back down to the ground. Well, you can see that the ambulance is out there on the field, and they are intensely working on Damar Hamlin.
The entire Bills team is out on the field right now. Several players are down on their knees. Other players are holding hands, praying. You can just see the worried looks on their faces.
Yeah, incredibly disturbing scene last night in Cincinnati, Bulldog.
Absolutely, it was. Buffalo Bills defensive back Damar Hamlin in critical condition. It was reported early this morning after the Bills say he suffered a cardiac arrest on the field following a tackle during the Monday night game last night. It was a chilling scene. It really was. Hamlin's uniform was cut off as he was attended to by medical personnel. He was administered CPR on the field. He was surrounded by teammates, and Bengals and Bills players were both in tears as this was going on. He was taken off the field by ambulance. He never seemed to recover. He was taken to the hospital. Again, he's in critical condition. His heart had to be restarted on the field. So yeah, it was nothing I've ever seen in a football game.
And to postpone the game, too. I mean,
yeah,
wild.
And they postponed the game. We don't know when the game's going to be rescheduled, but again, everybody's just worried about the player now. That's what matters. I've never seen anything like it. Usually, if it's a concussion or a head injury, the guy will, the player will be, unconscious maybe for a minute or two, and then he'll give the thumbs up as he's leaving the field. Well, that never happened last night.
We have seen the heart situation, but a lot of times you see that in preseason conditioning when it's incredibly hot, and a lot of times that's at like a high school or college level. But the pros, man, these guys are, well-oiled machines, and I don't.
I was watching one of the news reports this morning, and they interviewed a cardiologist, and his theory was that there are times if you're hit exactly in the chest at a certain amount of time while your heart is beating, it can cause serious cardiac arrest, and that was his theory as to what happened. And it makes sense because the tackle, it wasn't unusually violent. He was hit in the chest during the tackle. So yeah, he was trying to tackle T. Higgins, by the way, the Cincinnati wide receiver. But yeah, it's going to be, obviously everybody's monitoring what happens with the player today.
All right, so we'll keep tabs on that. An unfortunate end to an otherwise fantastic weekend of football.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was, NFL, obviously, college football, the college football playoff. Those games were spectacular as well. We had some great bowl games yesterday. Tulane beats USC in the Cotton Bowl. Tulane, of course, the Cinderella story out of the American Athletic Conference. We had some great Cinderella stories.
The American again doing it to a Power 5 team. I love it, dude.
Yeah. Did you see what happened in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl yesterday? LSU beats Purdue 63-7.
Pathetic.
It just goes to show you. I mean, we can watch these bowl games and we can enjoy them, but the fact of the matter is Purdue didn't have their starting quarterback, Aiden O'Connell, who opted out. They didn't have their best receiver, their best tight end, their best cornerback.
And we say it every year. Do you blame them, though, when a lot of them have their option?
Absolutely not.
Well, it'll certainly be a different situation when we go to this 12-team playoff, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there'll come a day when players opt out of the playoff, too.
You think so?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't think players would opt out of these major bowl games like, the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, games like that, but they do. They do. I mean, hell, I remember when the Gators won the the Cotton Bowl a couple years ago when they played Oklahoma when Dan Mullen was there, that half their team didn't even play in the game.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Penn State, by the way, wins the Rose Bowl. They beat Utah 35-21. Good win for them. They got 11 wins this season. What do you think about this? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers clinched their division on Saturday.
God, that game was crazy, dude.
Yeah, on Sunday, Tom Brady throws 3 long touchdown passes to Mike Evans. So the Bucs clinched. They're in the playoffs. But Todd Bowles says he's playing all the starters this weekend against the Atlanta Falcons, even though the game has no playoff ramifications. He's going to start, 45-year-old Tom Brady and all the other starters. I don't know if that's the right decision.
Well, I think he's trying to get a little continuity going here, Bulldog, going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, if Evans hadn't woke up, my God, tell me that wasn't the big awakening. That dude had...
It was the big awakening, but I look at it like, you guys have played golf, obviously, in these charity tournaments or whatever. When you go to the driving range and you hit that one good drive, you always end it on one good drive, right?
You want to walk away on a good drive, yeah.
Yeah, you want to walk away on a good note. Well, the Bucs walked away on a good note last week. Why ruin it this week?
I see Pat's point though on the get the practice.
Well, you know what? He can put them in and maybe play. See how it goes, and if it's going great, then you pull them out and say okay, let the other guys handle the rest of this, and then we'll get going with the playoffs.
What about my Jags, huh?
Wow.
What about the Jags? All they have to do now is beat the Titans on Sunday. They win the division.
Actually,
that
game's been flexed to Saturday, Bulldog.
Yeah, Saturday night, 8:15 kick. So, Jags win. They're in, and they should win because the Titans are fading. They've lost 6 in a row. They're having quarterback issues. Ryan Tannehill obviously is out for the year. We don't know if Derrick Henry's going to play. He didn't play last week. So the Jags are at home. Everything's set up for the Jaguars to make the playoffs. That would be exciting for that organization, obviously. The Dolphins, on the other hand, man, what a fade. What a fade. They've lost, 5 in a row now. They have to win this weekend. And hope that the Patriots lose to the Bills, and who knows what the Bills' state of mind is going to be now, obviously. So, it's going to be the Dolphins and plus Tua. If you're Tua, do you even come back this year after another concussion?
I don't think so, dude.
I wouldn't. I'd sit out the offseason, come back next year and see if the concussion issues are any better, but hell, his career is definitely in jeopardy, is it not?
Yeah, I would think that's a fair statement.
Yeah.
We should probably mention that rally driver Ken Block killed in a snowmobile accident yesterday. He was 55 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. By the way, Jonathan Isaac, perpetually injured Orlando Magic player, he practiced in full for the first time with the Magic yesterday. He is weeks. I'm going to say he's going to play in the next couple of weeks. So Jonathan Isaac and Jalen Suggs, by the way, getting ready to return to the lineup for the Magic. So that's exciting.
Well, obviously, a boatload of sports to talk about on this Tuesday morning, and the Bulldog is doing just that over on FM 96.9 The Game, where he hosts Open Mic and can read his stuff in the Orlando Sentinel as well. And you get to hear the sounds of a grown man barking each morning to take us out of the sports page here on JRR.
Oh!
Get Earth Day birthday info now. Follow us on our Facebook page at Earth Day Birthday.